Have a leaky roof? Sometimes it's necessary to call the experts for home maintenance and repair, but it might surprise you how easy it can be to take some of those supposedly daunting tasks into your own hands. I'm Marcy McDonald with Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today, let's join Shauna as she patches her porch roof at the remote homestead.
Being a homeowner is great, but it does come with a lot of responsibility. If there's maintenance that needs to be done, I have to do it myself. Today, I'm dealing with a leak in my porch roof. So you can see when it rains, there's water coming through right at the joint between the house and where the porch roof begins. It's actually been doing some damage to the porch. Now, if you look up right in between this tiny crack here, there's just a little bit of light coming through. Not even sure if you can see it. I certainly wouldn't be able to see it from the roof looking down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick a couple skewers up there through the little crack, so when I go up on the roof, I can see it a little better and see where it is. Let's go take a look. A small leak can be patched with what is commonly known as roofing tar. Your basic materials are your sealant, a flexible patching fabric, and some sort of tool to spread the sealant compound. Now, be careful to match the patching cement to the type of roofing material you're working with. I have common asphalt composite shingles, so I'm using rubberized asphalt cement. But if, for instance, you have a metal roof, you'll want a silicon-based sealant. And if you're fixing a leak that's up against brick or stucco, you will probably want an elastomeric compound. Also, because it's predicted to rain tomorrow, I'm using rubberized asphalt cement, which can be applied in wet conditions and still cure properly. Patching fabric is a sturdy mesh that's embedded in the layers of your patching compound. It reinforces the patch, and the open weave allows for flexibility and a certain amount of expansion and contraction in different temperatures. Make sure your putty knife, trowel, or whatever tool you're using to spread the tar is nothing too expensive, because roofing tar is so messy and hard to clean up that you're going to be better off throwing it away once you're done. If your compound is not too thick, you might even be able to use a paint roller. In addition, you're going to need something to open the can of tar, whether it's a paint can opener or the traditional screwdriver, some scissors or a utility knife for cutting the patching fabric, gloves because this is going to get messy, a couple old rags, one for wiping tar off your tools and one for wiping your face as you work up a sweat, and do not mix those two up, and a broom because I guarantee there's going to be leaves and other things that need to be swept away before you can start to work. I suggest making a checklist of everything you need and putting it in a backpack. There's nothing quite as annoying as having to run up and down the ladder for that one tool you forgot. And please, remember to take your phone so you can call for a rescue if you knock your ladder over while you're up there. I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I do know somebody who that happened to, and he still hasn't lived it down. The modern roof repairer's fashion look is inspired by sturdy, non-slip shoes and clothes that you'll be okay disposing of when, not if, they get covered in tar. Make sure your ladder is balanced on a level surface and stack everything that didn't fit into your backpack nearby because, again, making multiple trips to retrieve everything is just annoying. All right, see you topside. There's not a lot of leaves and twigs up here at this time of year, but asphalt shingles naturally shed these little bits of gravel that have been collecting in the corners. clean this as thoroughly as you can because any debris that gets embedded in the tar can potentially ruin the whole project.
Now I can see that at some point there was a little tar put up here already, but that is way too thin of a bead. You want to put tar down at least 3 inches on either side of the leak, which means side to side and end to end. So let's go ahead and do this right. It's a little hot up here, so if you're fair-haired and pale-skinned as I am, you might want to consider a little sun protection while you're up here. Roofing tar does not need to be stirred like paint does. So we're just going to be able to apply this straight out of the can. Pretty nasty stuff. So I'm just going to smear it on 3 inches to either side, meaning 3 inches this way of the crack, 3 inches up the flashing, and I'm going to keep going from end to end until I run out of tar or run out of roof, and hopefully won't fall off the roof when I run out. So here we go. Now, obviously the very first thing you're going to want to do is put on your gloves because, ew. That's why the pants can be thrown away when I'm done. First layer of this wants to be about 1/8 of an inch thick. Nice and even, no holes, no gaps. You're going to want to make sure it's seamless if you have an angle. All right, so we've got a nice, thick, messy, solid spread of roofing tar here. Now this is where the mesh comes into play. This is to reinforce it. We're going to actually smush it into the wet tar that's down there, get it nice and laid flat. This is going to be a reinforcement, and then we're going to put another layer over the top of this. So I'm going to cut it to length. This is where your scissors or your utility knife comes in handy. Cutting it a few extra inches just so we can lap it over the corner. And now, with gloves on, we just lay it in and press it into place. Again, this is why you want the gloves on. Now that's well into place. And on goes another layer of tar.
If you're patching a crack in an angled joint, line the middle of the patching fabric over the crack so it's embedded in the tar equally on either side. Push the fabric into the joint securely, but not so hard that you accidentally scrape all the sealant away. You want to work efficiently because the tar may start to harden up a bit, especially if it's in direct, warm sunlight, but roof sealants generally take between 24 to 70 hours to fully cure.
If you're working with this mesh, after you cut your strip off, be sure to set it end up. Otherwise, it's going to try to roll right off the roof. So anyway, there we have it. Tar from one end to the other. The funny thing is, I never could find where those skewers were poking up. So the leak was definitely not going to be very visible, which means it was just safer to tar the daylights out of everything on this entire joint. Now comes the fun part, cleanup.
Start by carefully bringing all your tools and supplies down from the roof. Make sure you've got everything. You don't want to have to haul the ladder out again tomorrow when you realize you left a broom on top of the house.
Washing up after using roofing tar is not fun. I did wear gloves, so my hands are protected, but it got just about everywhere else that wasn't protected. I mean, seriously, look at this. How did it get here? And unfortunately, because this is asphalt based, regular soap and water doesn't work. There are very few natural products that do work on this. So unfortunately, I hate recommending this, but you really want to use paint thinner or mineral spirits. So I'm outside. I do apologize for it being dark. I lost my light as I was finishing the project up this evening. So I'll just clean up outside because this stuff is pretty volatile with the fumes. And just for fun, I'm standing under the place where the leak was. It was a beautiful day today, perfect for fixing the leak with some tar, but tomorrow it's supposed to rain again, so we'll see if I have done the job. In the meantime, just take your paint thinner, pour some on a rag until it's saturated, and then you're just gonna scrub, scrub, scrub. I have water standing by and soap so I can wash this off my skin very quickly. I don't want it on me very long, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I think many of you have probably seen a previous video where I mentioned that I have eczema, which happens due to contact with certain chemicals. So I really want to get this off as quickly as possible. As soon as it's done its job, it's coming off because I don't want to give myself another flare-up. And as you can see, it's already working. Just to be certain, I've got pumice soap, which is a paste that's got crushed pumice lava rock in it, just for another quick scrub, just to make sure. And a bucket of water that I can toss out when all the rinsing is done. I certainly hope you never have a leaky roof. But if you do, just know that it's actually a little easier to fix than you might have originally thought. Good luck with that.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.